All right, so today, geez, what is today? Thursday? Today we're gonna talk about caves, specifically caving it up. One of the trends that's happened, I would say, over the past decade is that we have such easy access to all these fancy digital tools and phones and access to digital media and apps and doodads. We tend to pick up this habit of caving it up. And meaning, we'll get in there and we'll, hunker down in our bedrooms and watch, binge on Netflix, House of Cards, download the entire season's worth of Game of Thrones, watch every single episode. I mean, they even call it Netflix binging. And some folks, including myself, call it caving up. And I started thinking about caves and about cavemen and cavewomen. That, way back in the prehistoric times, we know that they used to live in caves and eat in caves and dine and sleep in caves. But the main difference between the cavemen and the modern caving it up is this notion of social interaction. And in the caves back then, it was actually a community. It was a family that was there. This wasn't something, if they were in hunter mode, they might be sleeping in caves by themselves because they're hunting. But ultimately, caving it up in the prehistoric times was a social activity. But caving it up in modern times is a solo activity. And I don't have to be an anthropologist or a fortune teller to state that social human in-person interaction is critical to the survival of the human race. We look back time and time again that as social structures grew dormant and didn't have any cross-pollination and no outside input, no collaboration in a physical space, that those cultures would eventually die. And what's happening right now is due to advances in technology, just as fast as the technology is advancing, it's also speeding up this antisocial behavior, if you will. And the danger there is that we call these things social media, social platforms, communication platforms, messaging platforms. But human interaction, face-to-face in the same space, is absolutely critical to our survival. And what it's happening now is almost a perfect storm, because we have the technology, we have the easy/free access to all this media and all these distractions and these addictive apps. And I'm trained in marketing to actually create services and products and tools that are addictive. That's my job. My job is to manipulate that weakness in human beings to build, frankly, a bad habit. So ultimately, that piece by itself is bad enough. But what ends up happening is the verbiage that we're using, social media, social networks, communication platforms, connecting, or connected. The people say that they're listening, that they're following, is that the words tell us up here that we're serving that need, that we're getting that in our diet, and what's happening is that we're actually slowly wasting away. And I know that the case could be made that all of this beautiful technology has actually increased collaboration, and there's people have become married because of online dating, and there's folks that have connected on different parts of the world because of Skype. There's people that have overcome all of these challenges that were almost impossible because of this lack of technology, lack of connectiveness. When you start digging deeper into it, though, those success stories, the ones that continue, the ones that had had some momentum. They actually ended up in some sort of physical interaction. Look at couch surfing, digital platform, human interaction. You look at meetup.com, digital platform, human interaction. I look at business meetings that I have, social media, like a LinkedIn connection request, an email, a phone call, a video call, a meeting, in person, human interaction. Even if I'm doing business with someone and I haven't met with them in person yet, if I'm in town, I'm gonna go visit them because there's no substitute. There is no vitamin supplement we could take to give us that human vitamin that we need. And the biggest danger over everything else is that we're lulled into a sense of comfort that everything is gonna be okay. That we are connecting with people, that this is just a tool to get there. But what ends up happening is we end up retreating back into our cave. The thing is that maybe the future of society is going to include lots of caving out. Maybe that retreat mechanism and that solo nature is part of our next evolution. I don't know. But what I do know is that it is our responsibility to take what we're pushing through business, through these media channels. Frankly, I mean, marketing is a mass manipulation. Is that if we have this power, with the power comes great responsibility. Sorry, I can't help myself. And that responsibility is that we need to take what we're doing in our businesses and the products or the interactions that we're triggering, the call to action. Ultimately, the end of that trail needs to be a human interaction. And it may not happen or be a quantifiable monetary amount. Like, what is that human interaction worth? Well, so other than the survival of our species, not much. But it is your responsibility to inject that human touch back into the process. Will it cost you money? Yes. Will you sleep better at night? Yes. Thank you.